You were listening to Midday with Maria Chaleos. 2 weeks ago, Caroline Dias Goncalves was pulled over in Colorado by an investigator from the Mesa County Sheriff's Office. She told him she was born in Brazil but had been in Utah for 12 years. The investigator let her go, but then ICE agents stopped her and took her into custody a short time later. There have been a few developments in this case, so let's bring on KSL TV's Garna Mejia, who has been following this case closely. Garna, thanks for being with me.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Bring us up to date. What happened this morning?
So we started getting information from Caroline's attorney in Colorado, as well as her family members. She had a bond hearing this morning, and it's simply, whether she should remain in custody at this facility in Aurora, Colorado, or, is she okay to continue her immigration proceedings outside? And so it went successfully to, her family's relief. And so what they're telling me is that they're expecting her to be able to be released. They don't know when that could be. Her attorney was saying it could, be as soon as her bond is posted. And so she'll be able to get out of that facility and come home. And her family, while they're really relieved, they're also saying this, her immigration process will continue, but at least it can continue from home.
Yeah, she is a young University of Utah student, and she's been in custody, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it seems that way. She was on her way to actually go visit her boyfriend, according to her family, who is in Colorado. And she was driving up when she was pulled over by a deputy with the Mesa County Sheriff's Office as part of like a drug task force, is how, the public information officer described it to me. He felt that she was following too closely behind a semi. Earlier on Monday, they released the body cam footage of that interaction, and after 20 minutes, she was released. Shortly after that, she was pulled over a second time and taken into ICE custody. And what is interesting about this case is that authorities in Colorado were confused, quite frankly, as to how was it that ICE became aware of her presence on the road and was able to take her into custody, didn't even ask for her ID, according to her attorney. And through an internal investigation, the Mesa County Sheriff's Office realized that information provided by that deputy on a chat with other agencies, including ICE, was how they were able to assume that she did not have a legal status in the country and arrested her and took her to an ICE facility.
So what is her legal status?
According to her attorney and family members, her status is that of an asylum seeker. What family members say is that she was brought to the U.S. by her parents when she was 7 years old, so just a little girl. She's been living and grew up in Utah, and I believe it was on a tourist visa, which her parents, they say overstayed, so they didn't go home at the end of, that tourist visa. A couple of years ago, they applied for asylum in the country, and so that process is playing out, seeing itself play out. So she has a social security number. She has a driver's license. She's able to go to school. She's going to the U. She wants to become a nurse. Really had no idea that she could be arrested and taken into custody by ICE.
Has ICE or anyone from the government said anything about this case?
We did try to reach out to ICE. I believe I sent them 2 emails, and I have not heard back from them. In speaking with immigration attorney Jonathan Shaw, he is licensed to practice both in Utah and Colorado. He's not her attorney, but in his opinion and what he is seeing in the immigrant community is that there's these types of quotas that the Trump administration is requesting from ICE agents. And so in addition to people with criminal backgrounds, people with violent backgrounds who are being taken into custody and seen through deportation proceedings, they're also seeing what they describe as low-hanging fruit. People who are immigrants who may not be, depending on what your definition of undocumented is, but whose legal status in the country is not that of a citizen, are also kind of being forced into these deportation proceedings. Shaw, this attorney, believes that it is possibly to meet these quotas to deport more people.
Mm-hmm. So she's set to be released, but she hasn't been released yet.
That's kind of where we are in that gray area. Her family told me a couple of hours ago that they didn't think she had been released because she still has to post that bond and all of that has to be processed. So they think it could take 1 to 2 days. Her attorney made a statement that was, more of the lines of thinking that, no, maybe she's out now. So we're trying to figure out where exactly she is in this process. But the good news being that a federal immigration judge has allowed her to leave this facility and continue her asylum proceedings.
Appreciate your time.
Freedom.
Thank you so much for being with me. That is KSL 5 TV's Garna Mejia breaking down that story for us. We will continue to watch this case and bring you updates right here on air and online at kslnewsradio.com. Garna will also do that as well at KSL 5 TV. It's 1:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shaleo. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. 2 Supreme Court rulings today on gender-affirming care and air quality. We'll go in depth to find out how those rulings will affect Utah, plus KSL traffic. Ricky?
We still have a slow spot southbound I-15 in Davis County due to road work. It's prior to Shepherd Lane in Farmington and the cleanup of the crash at 5600 West, 4100 North. Maria?
And thanks, Ricky. Let's take a look now at KSL's top local stories. Taylorsville police are planning to have more officers at Taylorsville Days next week after a shooting at Westfest that killed 3 people. KSL News Radio's Virl Johansson has more.
Police say they'll have more officers visible at Valley Regional Park as they work with the city to ensure the festival provides a safe and welcoming environment. City officials say the city council passed a resolution allowing police to break up any groups with people known to be involved in gangs. Officials also plan to have extra light at the park and will shorten how long some of the carnival rides will be open.
Police say while they know it's impossible to plan for everything, they believe that these extra steps will make Taylorsville Days safer. University of Utah student arrested by ICE officials in Colorado is now being released on bond, as you just heard from Garna Mejia. Caroline Dias Goncalves has lived in Utah for 12 years but was born in Brazil. She's been at a detention center for about 2 weeks now. Her lawyer says that she's in the country legally as an asylum seeker pending her application. He says she will be released from the detention center as soon as that bond is processed.